What's up, you guys? Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for clicking on this video. So, for those of you who know me in real life, you might think, or you might rightfully think, that I am obsessed with Bitcoin. It's been the case for quite some time, ever since I got into Bitcoin back in the late 2017, and that's when the big bull market was happening, and I bought the top essentially. I got obsessed to Bitcoin. But I think once I found out about Bitcoin, the main thing that really caught my attention is the idea that we have a limited supply of 21 million coins. And so specifically that, made me want to buy some. And as soon as I bought some, this is the event that triggered me to get into this rabbit hole. So if I hadn't bought some, I probably wouldn't have been so immersed in it, wouldn't have been so interested in Bitcoin to the point where I go and read the books, watch the YouTubes, listen to the podcasts, read the articles, all the papers and everything. My journey with Bitcoin actually started with me buying Bitcoin. So I had to actually go buy my first coins to actually become interested in it and have some kind of conviction after I did my research and education on Bitcoin. So the reason I'm talking about this, and this is going to be the topic of this video, which is understanding what actually allows you as a person, like psychologically, to be able to hold on to your Bitcoin. A lot of smart investors out there, they made a lot of great trades, great money, a lot of money from specific events, from specific stocks, from specific trades that they did it on the financial markets. A lot of these guys are still not into Bitcoin, or they have missed the opportunity of Bitcoin, which is the appreciation from $0 to $88,000. So they missed the entire ride, even though they are very smart people, they are very smart investors. They've done a lot of research on the market, they've done a lot of things that you would think that these people would be the first to get into Bitcoin and capitalize on this opportunity. But now let's talk about why these people are not doing this. What triggered for me this thought is this tweet I saw by this guy called Max Gagliardi. Gagliardi. I don't know the guy, I don't follow him, but I just saw the tweet, it popped up on my feed, and it said the following. At what point do people start panicking about not owning Bitcoin? It's the holy grail asymmetric bet. A small allocation, if wrong or well, if right, you secure a family's wealth for life. I can't find a rational reason not to own some. It's monetary life insurance. And so basically what he's saying is that I don't understand the people who would just not put some allocation, like 1% into Bitcoin. Let's say you have a few $100 million invested in the stock market, you're some millionaire. And yeah, why not just put 1% of that portfolio into Bitcoin? What if, just in case? This is what Max is essentially saying. Now, I don't completely disagree with this. I believe you should do that. You should definitely do that. If you don't want to put your entire wealth into Bitcoin, if you don't want to put 50%, if you don't want to put 20%, any allocation is good. Just put 1%. But this is why people do not do that. And I responded to Max in a quote tweet. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. I said, I believe investing in something actually requires conviction, skin in the game versus soul in the game. Most people with the just in case mentality will probably sell their Bitcoin as soon as it 2x for them. You need to be convinced that the 2x is nothing in the grand scheme of things. So, what I'm essentially saying is that if you have this mentality, which is, yeah, just in case, what if Bitcoin becomes the global reserve currency? What if Bitcoin surpasses gold market cap? What if Bitcoin surpasses the market for bonds, like 100 trillion market cap? What if Bitcoin does all these things? Then I just have some and I'll just get rich off of it anyway. And if I lose, I'll just lose everything. It's just 1% at the end of the day. The reason you cannot have this mentality with Bitcoin, because if you have this mentality, it is almost certainly impossible for you to ride it to these amounts. So you can't have a just in case mentality and ride Bitcoin all the way through $10 trillion market cap or $20 trillion market cap or $100 trillion market cap, let alone the coin becoming the global reserve currency. Because holding Bitcoin is easy, okay? You can just buy a cold card and put your coins in the cold card, right? It's so easy. Or you can just put your money with the ETFs. It has been made so simple right now. You can just buy it with your ETF accounts, with your BlackRock account, buy some and just leave it there. It's so simple. Yet the decision to keep holding on to your Bitcoin is not easy because you wake up every day, Bitcoin is super volatile. Some of us have held through Bitcoin through the worst times ever. Some of us have held it, me included, when I bought it at the top in 2017. I bought it when it was going up to 18,000. I bought it in that range. And after that, the year next in 2018, it essentially dumped way back down 2,000 to $3,000, I think, or $4,000. So I held on. I held on to it because why? Because I had conviction. Even more, in 2019, it dumped from $9,000 or $8,000, something like that. But before that, it was even at $13,000. It dumped all the way down to $3,000 when the COVID crash happened. Back then, the world was ending. Like, people were panicking everywhere. Like, people were not finding toilet papers. It was a whole different uh, time back then. So I held on. I even bought more. I kept on buying more. I kept my conviction because I knew these are temporary things. I was so convinced to Bitcoin for these crashes to not phase me. Even more when the crash happened in 2022, all the way down from $69,000 all the way down to like $16,000 or something like that, even $15,000 when the FTX exchange collapsed. So I even held on through it. I kept stacking, kept doing what I'm doing, stacking even more sats. Even when it was going up, I did not just sell my position as soon as I doubled it. I kept at it. So if you don't have this type of conviction, as soon as you see the price goes up by 100%, some people will sell, most people will sell. But even more, if you lose on that position and you see one of those 80% crashes, again, you will sell, or a lot of people will do so. So when I approach people about Bitcoin, but most likely when they approach me, I don't like to paint this narrative for them as just in case, like just buy some just in case, because I don't believe people who just buy Bitcoin just in case will hold on to it. They will probably buy other shit coins. They will probably sell it. They will probably not be convinced at all. So I wouldn't ever do that. I wouldn't give them this type of mentality. For you to actually be interested in Bitcoin, for you to actually to hold on to Bitcoin, you need to have some kind of a conviction, and that conviction comes from you having soul in the game. So you have to be completely immersed in Bitcoin and have complete conviction for you to hold on to it, to ride it to these amazing milestones that everyone keeps talking about. So this is the difference that I'm essentially talking about here in my tweet, which I say skin in the game versus soul in the game. You can have skin in the game in Bitcoin where you have a small allocation into it and just forget about it, but really you will not be able to hold on to it for far too long. Whereas when you have soul in the game, which is having this kind of obsession with Bitcoin, allows you to hold on to it for far longer. And this is the beauty of Bitcoin. It is something worth having soul in the game in, because it's one of those technologies that will not only make your life better, but it's actually better for humanity. It allows you to take back your finances, to have money that is not controlled by any government, which is the ultimate goal. And yeah, for me, this is something I always say. Even if I lose all my Bitcoin in some kind of a boating accident, I still want Bitcoin to succeed, because I want to see a world where people can hold on to their Bitcoin, can use Bitcoin, can save in Bitcoin, and where Bitcoin really fixes a lot of problems that the fiat monetary machine has caused. So this is why I feel like Bitcoin is something you can have soul in the game in, and for you to actually hold on to it, you should and even you must have soul in the game. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe to my newsletter. It's in the description of this video. And that's it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.